Have you heard of Jankum?
And go. Shut the hell up, Liam. Go.
Have you heard of Jankum?
No.
It's where seriously, it's where you like shit in a jar.
Okay. Oh.
And you piss in the jar, and then you close the jar and you let it ferment.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta have patience for this one, and then you come back to it after some time, and you open the jar and
And you
breathe
get high
deep,
it. Yes.
and then you just see the cosmos in your own piss and shit. You just see the cosmos in your own piss and shit. In your own piss and shit. And you let it ferment.
Yeah.
It's all natural.
Jankum. Have you heard of Jankum? And then you just see the cosmos.
And then, like, you know, you're tasting music and hearing the sun and.
Chariots coming, good news. Chariots coming, good news.
You'll figure out what you want, your desire and needs. Figure out what you got, never give it for free. Live it out, get a lot, people die over dreams. God gave you a gift, no matter what you believe. The past is the past, and now is the present. So the future is a gift, and we learn another lesson. It's a blessing that I even have the time to begin with. And every line I write, I try to defy physics. I will never worry about looks of my image. I'm a fucking punk rocker, I never needed gimmicks. I don't need your ice or your $100 denim. Yo, I only need a mic to put my voice up on a record. Every line I recite in the pursuit of perfection. And every day of life brings me closer to the ending. But the power of intention is the gift I was given. So even at the ending I will be resurrected, motherfucker.
No, you don't know what you would give up. No, you don't know what you would give up. You don't know.
We beat it. Anyways, it was the day that guy was just getting pounded into the ground. Just slammed into the pavement by that other guy with his dog, and we were in the middle of trying to serve a line that had formed of like 20 people. And I'm like trying to explain this to my wife, like, okay, like you worked at a coffee shop, like you know that feeling when it's like lunch rush or whatever, and you got a lot of people and you're trying to keep everybody's orders straight, but also the guy in the corner is like probably going to die because he's getting his brain smashed in. And she's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
No. I was like, okay, well, you know, it's chaotic. It's a little chaotic. So we got done with that. And then we get like an emergency phone call. We can bleep his name. Do you remember Justin from Team Challenge when you were there? We'll bleep Team Challenge as well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So he left. Did he graduate? He left.
No, he left.
He had left. And we were in contact with him because we would see him when we would go and visit other people that we were visiting at the time. And we heard that he'd left, and we were trying to kind of make sure that, because he hadn't left because of a relapse, so we were trying to make sure that he didn't relapse after he got out. And we were trying to help set him up with some work and stuff. And everything seemed to be going okay. We did like a home visit and met his, wife and his kids. And the only thing that was really out of the ordinary about it was there was this guy that nobody told us was going to be there. And he came down the stairs from upstairs and kind of sat in between us. Which we were about this distance apart.
Like, it's literally if like that closet door over there opened and some guy we did not tell you was in the closet came out of the closet and just sat right between the two of you.
And we tried making small talk, like,
and nobody addresses the fact he's sitting between us. No introductions, no.
We're like, hi, and he's like, hi, how are you? And we're like, oh, we're doing all right. How are you? And he's like, I've just been thinking on some things. I've just been really, really thinking about things. Like, cool. Yeah.
Like your life, or like I'm trying to work with it, like about your life, or like what you're gonna do, or he's like
thinking about like
just things, man.
What your favorite sequel naming convention is? Like, is it when you add at the end, like Die Hard
Dumber
Dumb and Dumber Son of Frankenstein. That's my favorite. The Son of Frankenstein, Son of Kong. Or are you thinking about like ways to like murder us and put us in your trunk? Like there's
yeah.
a variety. So that was the only thing that was weird about it. Because this guy that we were visiting seemed to be doing okay.
Well, no, there was one more thing that was pretty weird about it. And when we left, we went out to get in the car, and the dude was like haunched down in the corner of the parking lot in that weird position. Like if I got into that, I would never get up.
That's
Or
right.
You're like resting on your own
we weren't
heels.
finished, and he had left. And then when we were leaving,
Again, they didn't tell us who
We
he
were like,
was or where he was going.
where'd that guy go? And we get out into the parking lot, and you're right. He was totally in a like half yoga, half like ready to pounce
And he's
on
just
you.
smoking like he's mad at the cigarettes and looking at us.
So that was like a few weeks before, and we'd been, in contact with the guy trying to make sure he could get lined up for this job.
Yeah.
So we're out there trying to make some soups. Guy's getting his face just smashed into the concrete. Like, I'm sorry, did you say you wanted blue Doritos or Fritos? And they're over there like, like oh yeah, sorry.
the blue one.
Okay, I just enunciate. And there's a dog, because the thing is, gotta rest your arms when you're doing a beatdown. Sometimes you want to let your dog do a little bit of the work. But the dog's,
Exercise.
having as much ADHD as me in the moment. So then we finally get in the car. The only thing that pulls us out of that is, we gotta go. This guy's like calling. He's having a crisis, and we drive straight out to it's late fall,
Outer
winter.
Gresham.
Yeah, it's like when it gets dark. At
We
like
left
5.
in fall. We got there at winter.
Yeah. Deep Gresham. Like, we talk about how Gresham's nice. Like, downtown Gresham is a lot nicer than it used to be. There's still parts. You can go up far enough. You get out near, like, Palmquist. Yeah.
The Northwest Palmquist.
Or as we call it,
Street.
Palm Job.
Palm Job Avenue.
So we're out there. Winter, Deep Gresham, right by Palm Job. That nice Chinese restaurant. What is that thing called?
I don't know. The
Golden Dragon.
The Jade Palace. Or,
Jade
It's all the
Labyrinth.
neon in Oregon went there.
When it's, winter and you're over by Palm Job Avenue and it's like 6 stories tall and lit up like you can see it from
Also a
space.
brothel.
Also.
So we find this guy he's just out with his skateboard, and I guess he'd been gone for like a day or 2. And he hadn't eaten, he hadn't changed, he hadn't showered. This isn't the weird guy. This is the guy that everything seemed okay with.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, well, let's go get you dinner. Let's warm you up, and let's talk through what's going on and figure out what we can do. So we went to the Jade Mansion or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know what's around here, but that's the brightest thing in the
that
universe.
Thing that's turning the night sky green.
Maybe they have hot and sour soup.
Yeah. Could be.
So we get there, it's got the bridge in the opening where you walk over the koi pond. Very fancy.
Yeah.
So we sit down, we get the hot and sour soup. Yeah, I think he went for egg flour. That's how you know it's about to be a bad night. Drown your sorrows in an egg flour soup. So, we're like, okay, so what's going on? Like, why?
Where'd you go, man?
Where'd you go?
It's been 2 days, bro. What's up?
Right. Why'd you leave? And we pieced together from what happened that we found out about later in the night. I'll get to this. I'm going a little. He died. It's okay. He's fine.
Unless
Now-
he's dead again.
Well, yeah, but after that,
He could be dead again.
He could be.
again.
Again.
we'll get there. Again. So he starts telling us about kind of some of what was going on in his home that sort of drove him out. And it basically boiled down to like the girlfriend or the fiance, I don't know what the
Wife.
she'd kicked him out of the house. And it's like, okay, well, were you relapsing and she kicked you out, or did she kick you out and now you've relapsed? And then it's this whole story bullshit, but it was very detailed. So basically what he was alleging was that it turns out the weird guy was his brother-in-law, so his wife's brother. Mm-hmm. And she was like, okay, they have been practicing black magic. And it's like, now, I've got a pretty good gauge for when a story goes like, okay. Usually like The Matrix or
jump
the
the
lizard
shark.
people or when we bring up Nixon, it's like,
Yeah.
because we have that, we'll be talking to somebody and it'll get weird. And it wasn't quite that shift. It was like, well,
No.
explain, because I know people who've done
But
black magic.
The other thing is when these people tell their stories, they don't know they sound weird.
Right.
They're just like, the code.
He was
that
very
is
much
in
like, this is
everything to
insane,
sound-
but I have to tell you guys.
Yeah.
Like, here's what's going on. And she was like, he's like, they're doing black magic rituals in my home. And I was like, well, how do you know, or what does that look like? Like, I'm trying to ask the follow-up questions. He's having a little trouble hearing because, you know.
I'm like, what?
He's
It's hard to hear
muttering.
over this sizzling platter
dish
I
cart
ordered.
at the Jade extravagance. So he's explaining that he was, you know, kicked out or left the house. It was kind of unclear, but what he was alleging was that his wife and her brother were practicing black magic together, and we were like, tell us more. How do you know?
Yeah.
What did you see? And he was like, well, I came home early one day. Like, she thought I wasn't going to be home until whatever, 5 o'clock, and he was home at like 3 or something. And he goes up to the bedroom, opens the door. I said incest magic to, you know, preface it, so we know what's happening.
We know what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you don't know, you can do sexual acts as part of magical rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so when you find yourself at the Long John Silver's Taco Bell combination restaurant and you're just like
All your
cornholing a blood relative to try and summon an elder god, it's like that.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's gross.
The thing that was
I could do a nicer version. It's like when you're doing hand
I'll
stuff
take
with a blood
maggots
relative
over
at the
incest
Arby's.
any day.
the weird thing is how sane he seemed.
Yeah.
Like you kept like
Was it like, no, my wife?
my wife was fucking her brother up there, and he's like, no, I know this sounds weird, and it's hard to believe, and I've been trying to rationalize it in my brain, and it just doesn't keep.
It also wouldn't have clicked for us if we hadn't met this guy and been like, what is his deal? And maybe the whole story's nonsense and it wasn't really incest magic, but from seeing this guy being all weird, it was like, no, that would explain it. That
Yeah.
could be the deal.
Yeah.
That's on the menu of options.
Yeah,
It's like,
wasn't.
what's wrong with this guy? Like, oh, he's screwing his sister to try and like get Cthulhu to make it so he wins the lottery.
Right.
Obviously.
The more transgressive the act, the more likely the dark forces are to honor it.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah. So
it's
did he
very
win the lottery? What were his numbers? Is it too late to play?
Yeah.
But the other thing was the whole motivation of telling this story was just to explain that he was very concerned that his children were living with this, you know, with his brother-in-law.
Oh,
And-
he had children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like
Oh,
4
yeah.
and 2. He's like, you know, he's kicked out of the house. So the only man in the house is the guy that, at least he is personally convinced, is screwing his wife, who's that guy's, you know, blood relative. And he's like, I got to get my kids out of there.
Sister.
And we're like, okay, well, the only path forward for you to get your kids out of there is going to be to, like, knock it off with the drugs, get work, power through the work, and then get custody. Like, if you can prove any of this, but you need to not be just hanging out with your skateboard in the parking lot of a plaid pantry
Yeah.
on like 392nd Street. At a certain point, how are you just not on the mountain?
Well, and the thing
It's a little local humor.
that was like you couldn't refute it in any way. It was irrefutable. Was that guy? Just the one that just manifested on that stairway was creepy.
We just got such a weird vibe that it was like, oh yeah, that explains it. That could explain it.
Yeah,
that could be it.
Like I'm not
It's the satanic sister banger vibe.
Yes,
the satanic
vibes.
Yes.
Vibes.
Maybe that's what they
Vibes.
did.
More than
Yeah,
one.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. So we took this guy and we got him. We were like, okay, well, you're homeless, so let's do it in style. So we got him a tent and a cot, and we were like, okay, we're going to come back tomorrow, and we are going to get you to this job interview that he had lined up already. And it's like, and you're going to work, and you're going to get yourself out of here, and you're going to get custody of your kids. It's like a multi-year plan, but it starts with you need to just power through. And
Well, some local color went over to the homie that was sleeping there, who up to this point seemed pretty sober, although he might have been a lunatic. But also, it's Portland, so people do weird things. They were like, "Hey, you're the new guy. Want to smoke some with us?" And like he's like, "I just am thinking about my brother-in-law banging
yes,
my wife.
I do want to smoke some.
I think that'd be awesome because that would help me not think about what I saw."
So anyways, he died,
Yeah,
like, immediately.
yeah. They had.
But when we came to pick him up for coffee the next morning, because we upheld our end,
he was
we
ready to go.
Yeah, we didn't know he was dead. He was alive at that point.
He was fine. He was ready
and
to
then
go.
later, after we'd gone through a whole day, we were like, wait, he died and he totally didn't tell us? That means he was using, and, then it kind of fell apart from there. You met him.
Yeah.
Anyways, last time we heard, he had abandoned the situation with his family and went down to California to ride dirt bikes. So it has a happy ending.
That makes sense.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Just ride that dirt bike into the sunset and rev it up loud enough you forget you abandoned your children to potential
Wee freedom.
incest magic.
So on any day you ask us how we're doing, we might be having that day.
We might be having that day. Yeah.
We call that Wednesday.
Oh.